everyone, how you doing? My name is Alicia Miller. I am the founder CEO of Beyond Measure Education. At Beyond Measure Education, we strive for excellence in our students. We work with parents and school districts and anyone else who needs it to ensure that positivity in reading is the culture. We want to make sure that students enjoy reading and that they have representation within their reading. I also provide tutoring services, homeschooling services, consulting if needed for parents, school districts, micro schools. But the focus really is to provide culturally relevant reading literacy resources to, capture our students' attention and give them or try to instill in them the love for reading. So today, I am coming to you from my brother's house. Actually, he has like a nice little oasis. So you may hear a little music in the background. I didn't want to try to rain on their vacation parade. But I did want to do this video and just kind of discuss reluctant readers and some tips or strategies that you can use to help your reluctant reader fall in love with reading. Because I'm going to be honest with you, kids don't wake up and just hate reading. It doesn't work that way. And so I want to just kind of give you guys some strategies. I have 7, in fact, the lucky number 7 for you. First of all, let me just give you a brief definition, because sometimes reluctant readers can be confused with struggling readers, and there is a difference. So a struggling reader is exactly what it sounds like. It is a person or a student who struggles with reading. They have a reading deficiency. They're usually behind their peers when it comes to, certain targeted areas of reading where they should be. And so they need additional support, intervention to help them come on level, to help them get to the level that they need and surpass their peers, or at least be on grade level. And honestly, that's something that I do as well. I am a reading interventionist, a reading specialist. I, dissect, read the data, and work with those kids to make sure that they are where they need to be. But today, we're not talking about struggling readers. We're talking about reluctant readers. So reluctant readers are those people who reading is they just don't like it. They really just do not like reading. It is not something that they will choose as a hobby. It's not something that they choose to, partake in as as one of the things that they enjoy doing. They just do not enjoy reading. And they have their reasons. For whatever reason, you can sit down and ask them. A lot of times they just will say, I just don't like reading. But as I said in the beginning of the video, our kiddos do not start off hating reading. Something happened or happened to them to where they just decided, I don't want to read, I don't like it, it's not for me. And I come across these kids all the time. And let me tell you, I always tell these kiddos, it's not that you don't like reading, it's just that you haven't found the right book. And that's really and truly what I believe. It's not that they don't like reading. Once they find the right book, the right genre, the book that connects with them, that character that they enjoy, that series that they enjoy, I promise you, you'll have a reading bug on your hands. So let's just jump right into it, okay? The very first thing that I would say, which is part of, the Beyond Measure beliefs and core values, is representation. You need to find books that are representative of the student, of the child. A child needs to see themselves reflected, right? In whatever they're watching, whatever they're reading, they're going to gravitate towards that. If they can look at the book and see a person that looks like them, a character that looks like them, a family cohort that looks like them, okay? So representation doesn't necessarily have to do with race or ethnicity. It could deal with religion, right? Maybe the book have characters that are of the Muslim faith or the Jewish faith, right? Maybe it's family oriented. You know, you have adopted kids who are adopted, right? You have kids who are being raised by their grandparents. You have kids who are being raised, they have same-sex parents. So you want to make sure that that child sees themselves in the book. It doesn't always, it should not stop at color, right? It should not stop at race and ethnicity and nationality. There's other things that go along with that. So they need to see themselves represented in whatever book they're reading. Okay, so that's one way, and I think that's one of the most important things: representation. Another strategy would be to do read alouds. Children love to be read to. As an adult, I enjoy being read to. Okay, I teach high school, and even when I taught middle school, my kids enjoy being read to. I'm telling you, as an adult, as a 16, 17, or 18, these kids enjoy being read to. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a children's book, but you can use children's books. I use children's books to teach reading strategies to my seniors, to my students, right? But it doesn't have to be a children's book, although children's books do have deeper meanings, and that's a whole nother video that I'll get back with you on that. But it could be a chapter book. You do read alouds with chapter books as well. So just the idea of being read to, and even have them reading to you, is also another good strategy. So either you're reading to them, or they're reading to you, or you could take turns. Okay, so strategy number 3, technology. These kids love technology. We all know that. Use it against them. Use it as a weapon to help them enjoy reading again. And there are so many different technologies, so many different apps out there that you can use that help with, not necessarily help with reading, because we're not talking about struggling readers, but where kids can actually access books and ebooks and comics and things like that on their phone. One of my favorite is called Hoopla. It's completely free. It's Hoopla. It's completely free, and you can, as long as you have a library card, you can download the app to your phone, to your tablet, whatever it is, and the kids can check out ebooks, audio books, because audio is another form of technology that I recommend you using, right? Audio books, you can download ebooks, comics. They even have movies and music on there that you can download as well, and it's all free. So I would say use technology to encourage reading. As long as they have that on their phone and they're strolling, the fact that it's, technologically based, it's a mind game. We have the bigger brains. We have to use it to, I hate to say, manipulate them into doing something good for themselves. In this case, we're using the technology, which they love, to help them to enjoy reading, to give them that space, to give them that other alternative to read, right? Another idea would be, and I think that's 3, so we're on 4 now, number 4. Number 4 would be to start with a book that has been turned into either a movie or a TV series. And trust me, there are many out there. There are so many. People don't even know a lot of the things that they're watching on television are actually books. They are books, and they were turned into movies or TV shows or TV series, or the character was based off, the character from the book. So there are so many movies and books that are movies and TV shows that are books. The book came first. The old question, the chicken before the egg, whatever. In this case, the book came first, okay? And I always say, don't judge a book by the movie, because sometimes the movie or the TV show is not done as well. But you have kids who like to watch TV, like to watch these movies. Start with that. We all know Harry Potter, The Hunger Games. These kids are into Bridgerton. Bridgerton is actually a book series. Wonder is on Netflix right now. That's a book. The Hate You Give. There's so many different books that were turned into movies and television shows. The Walking Dead is a graphic novel. You know, that's where it started from. So there's so many books and TV shows, or TV shows and movies that were turned into books that you can definitely start with. So start there. Start with a TV show or a movie and be like, hey, you know what? You know this is a book, right? Let's go ahead and read the book. The book is actually way better than the movie. You know, just kind of boost their head up, and then we can go back and rewatch the movie again, and we can figure out what things that is different, what things are the same, and stuff like that. And then you get that critical thinking going on just from comparing the book and the movie, and there's a whole other stuff you can do with that. But just to try to get the kids to read, to engage them, to kind of capture their attention, start with the book, start with the movie or the TV show. Number 5, routine. Make reading part of your routine. I recommend 20 minutes of reading a day, but you can do as little as 10. I would say anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes a day. Just make it part of your routine. You've eaten, you bathed. Now let's read. Everybody sit down. Let's get our quiet time. We're going to read a book for the next 20 minutes before we decide to go on to the next activity, right? Or wake up first thing in the morning. You ate, you brush your teeth, whatever. Now let's start off with the book and read for 20 minutes. However your routine is, but try to put in at least 10 to 30 minutes. I recommend 20 per day of reading time. It could be them reading solo, it could be you guys reading together, whatever it may be, but build it into a routine so that it becomes second nature for the kid. Number 5, a book nook. So a book nook is pretty simple. All it is a little space, a little area that is specifically designated for reading. That's it. However, you can kind of dress it up a little bit. I would, because you want the space to have its own identity from the rest of the house, right? So you can set up that little area, that little nook, with maybe like a bean bag, a nice comfortable recliner. It's a nice comfortable space with maybe like a rug. For me, my reading, when I love to read, I like to have a blanket. I like to have, of course, my blanket, my book, my coffee, okay? And, you know, of course, a nice comfortable chair. So I would say, you know, put some blankets over there, a bean bag. You have a bookshelf with a variety of books, right? You have a plethora of different types of books for the child to choose from. You have some lighting over there in the area, a lamp that it can turn off and on and whatnot. And maybe, you know, like, I don't know, some drinks or something that will make them gravitate to that area, right? They know that this is my area for reading. That's what I'm going to do. I go in this area, I'm going to relax, and I'm going to read. So if you're able to do that, a little book nook would do wonders for sure. Number 6, I believe. I would say meet the child where they are. So remember, these are reluctant readers. It's not that they can't read or that they're struggling readers. They're reluctant readers. So you want to get them interested in reading. You can do that by providing them with choices. So giving them, like I said, that bookshelf should be filled with all types of books, right? From nonfiction to comics. It should be filled with all types of books.